Hey, yo, what's up, guys? This is your friend Scorpion67 here with a deck profile on chain Karakuris. For those who are not familiar with chain Karakuris, the name comes from this card right here. That is chain summoning. I'm gonna read this card effect. Activate only as a chain link 3 or higher. You can normal summon or set up to 3 times this turn. You cannot activate this card if multiple card effect with the same name are in that chain. So basically this is like a small ultimate offering or a big double summon. But what makes this card great is that it's a quick play spell. So which means that you you can use this first turn, and the field you can get through this card is amazing. So yeah, I promised this deck profile to a lot of people. I worked on this deck for 1 week. So let's start with the build. I made this. This is my own build, by the way. Um, I run one Effect Veiler. I was running one BLS for some time, but I changed it for one Effect Veiler, and the reason is that I love this card, and this card makes my Trishula lives. So yeah, I keep my Effect Veiler. Then we have two Cyber Dragons, one Karakuri Hypa, three Genix Neutron, great card. This card right here, when you have this card on the field on your end phase, you can search for a machine tuner, which means you can search for your Komachis, your strategists, or your watchdogs. And then we have three Komachi, that is actually the main tuner of the deck, and three merchants, that is the monster that makes this deck lives. This card is great. Then we have one Nizipachi, two Ninja Quick, two Watchdogs, and two Kageto Kage. This is an OCG card, but this card will be released in Faran Shockwave that comes next month. So we will see this card very soon. I'm gonna read this card effect. This card cannot be normal summon or set. When you normal summon a level 4 monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. This card cannot be used as a synchro material monster. So basically this is for the XYZ, but what makes this card great is that actually this card starts a chain, or this card can be chained to another monster. So that's why we have the monks here. So basically, if I if I summon the monk will be chain link 1 because of his effect. Then this card will be chain link 2, and then my chain summoning will be alive. There is a lot of ways to actually trigger this card. Like we have the merchant. You summon the merchant, then you do MST, then you do chain summoning, or I don't know. There's so many ways. Um, I will keep that for actually later. So yeah, this card is great. And then we have two summoner monks. Um, I have to admit this card wasn't in my build when I first made it. I actually started to use this card yesterday, and this card is great. Um, what makes me what makes me think about this card? Actually, I I actually tested this for a week, and for some time I was actually feeling that that something was missing, and then the monk came to my mind for one big reason. As you can see right here, I'm running three chain summonings. I will never activate three chain summonings in a duel. It's impossible. If it is possible actually, but your opponent must play stall, or I don't know. But usually it is impossible. But I still run 3. Why? Because I want to start with this card in first hand. When I start with this card in first hand and a good hand, it's actually a game first turn. For some reasons that you will see later. But it happens that I use this, and for some reasons I can get the field I want, and then and then I have dead chain summonings in my hand. That's what the monk is for. The monk can get rid of the dead chain summonings in your hand. So this card is great, and uh, I don't know. Imagine it happens like 2 or 3 times. My opponent had a Venus on the field, a lone Venus, and I actually stopped that that Venus with Effect Veiler or Findish Chain, and then it's my turn. I have a Watchdog in the graveyard and a Monk in hand and a dead chain summoning. So I do the monk effect, drop this, special summon quick, quick destroy Venus, quick effect, special summon this, synchro for Burado, then his effect goes for the second Watchdog, and then you synchro for a Stardust or a Scrap Dragon. You got a big field out of nowhere only because you had the monk in hand, and or this card helps with speed too because you can start with this and have a nice hand like you have the monk, you have the merchant, you have the chain summoning, but you miss a big piece of the puzzle that is Komachi. So you can do the monk effect, then go for this card, and at the end phase you will search for that Komachi. So you will have all the cards you need for your big combo. So you you can see this card is this card is great. I just love him. So yeah, let's continue with the spells. Like I said, we have 3 chain summonings, and you have the monk to get rid of the dead ones. Then we have 2 cash cash. I don't run 3 cash cash. I don't like 3 cash cash actually, and uh, I actually rather run Pot of Avarice than the third cash cash because this card is actually better. And I don't run Anatomy. Please don't suggest me that card. I heard that card before, but I run Chain Karakuris. When I made this build, I was actually looking for consistency, and with this card, I actually play almost all my hand first turn. So, which means that if I draw on Anatomy in late game, it will be the worst draw ever. It will be an horrible draw. So I just don't play it. So let's continue. Then we have 3 MST. I actually don't like 3 MST in main deck, but in this deck it is really needed because MST is a quick play. So which means that you can actually go Merchant, then MST, then Chain Summoning, Monk, MST, Chain Summoning. So you really need this card, and this card is more easy. It's actually easier to activate than you think. And then we have 1 Heavy Storm, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Limiter, 1 Pot of Avarice, and 1 Mind Control. That's for the spells. Now, as you can see, I have 4 traps. I actually don't like traps in any deck that is not control based, but in this deck, I actually had to run those traps. And as you can see, I run 2 Call of the Hunted, and I actually love this card in this deck because this deck generates graveyard very fast, and this card is actually can be live in first turn. So nice card. And then we have 2 Findish Chains, which is a great card in this deck, and I will explain why after. Yeah, I will explain why now. As you can see, uh, there's a lot of combos you can do with this card in this deck. There's a lot of synchro monsters. You can see right here, I run 1 Cadaster, 1 Bryo, Black Rose, Natura Beast, Barkion, Landois, 2 Bure, 2 Burados, Stardust, Scrap Dragon, Trishola, and 2 Utopias. All those cards um, uh, are actually, this is actually the staple synchro setup that you need. except for this. You can actually change this if you run BLS, uh, but otherwise, yeah, you can change this for actually um, uh, a librarian, but I prefer that character. So yeah, so let me explain what this deck do. Actually, with chain summoning, I can start with this field right here first turn. I can start with one Burrito, one Beast, and one Utopia. That I can get through the Beast. I can get through this, and the actually Merchant. Then the Burrito, I can get it with I go Monk, special summon the Watchdog, normal summon this, and just start the whole combos with Komachi, this, and and Kage. There's a lot of combos I can do, but usually the field I do with chain summoning is this one, or sometime it's a beret instead of a burrito. So as you can see right here, this field, when your opponent see this field, he's crying because there's actually nothing he can do. If your opponent plays Darkworld, he scoops and the game goes to round two, or to round three, depending on which round you were on. Because when you have this, there's nothing he can do. Even if he starts with actually tour guide, and he goes for Leviathan, and he tried to attack your beast, Utopia is here to protect it. So yeah, there's nothing he can do. The game goes to round two. Um, the only monsters that can actually screw you up are Chaos Sorcerer, BLS, and well, probably Raikou, but that's why Fiendish Chain is here. Fiendish Chain is here to actually take care of monsters like Chaos Sorcerer, BLS, um, I don't know, Gravekeeper, Descendant, Scrap Dragon, things like that. That's why Fiendish Chain is there. The only thing this card can't protect you against, it's a Raikou, but that's why you run also Lendois. So with this deck, as I said, there's a lot of deadly moves you can do. You just have to learn how to play the deck, learn learn how to do your combos and and everything. But I will actually do some dual videos with this very soon, so you will see this deck in action, and you will see the full potential this deck have. There is a lot of deadly moves you can do with this deck. You just have to actually master the Karakuri's engine. So yeah, guys, that's it for the deck profile. So uh, comment on the deck. Give me your suggestions if you have something I should change in the deck. Even if I think the deck is really stable that way. But yeah, and don't forget to actually subscribe to see more of these deck profiles and tech of the weeks I do. So yeah, guys, peace.